Hey y'all, Sean Browning here, and this is an episode of True Historian. Now, in this one, I'm gonna review the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing, in which Timothy McVeigh, Terry Nichols, and others blew up the Mora Federal Building in Oklahoma City, which housed the federal agencies of the FBI, the ATF, and the DEA, and also had a daycare facility for those federal workers. Now, what people fail to realize is that Timothy McVeigh and Terry Nichols were both in the army together, along with their co-conspirator Mike Florio, and they were, while in the military in the 80s at Fort Bragg, they became or they got together with white supremacists, survivalists, and fellow anarchists, radical anarchy. But they were combat engineers. So that's how Timothy McVeigh knew how to build the effective bomb, in which he did the homemade explosive, or IEDs, improvised explosive device, with fertilizer, C4, and I think he used some other things, but in that Ryder truck in which he drove there on the second year anniversary of the Waco, Texas standoff, as well as the third anniversary of the standoff the year before the Waco standoff. And I remember he was a part, or self-avowed part, of the Branch Davidian anarchist group, which was anti-government. I viewed them as soldiers. Now, what Timothy McVeigh is an extremist, radical extremist, rather. And when the bomb exploded, after he dropped off the Ryder truck right underneath the daycare facility, had killed hundreds of people, and today is the deadliest attack, single day attack in U.S. history. I mean, of course, you got, but this is the deadliest single attack of domestic homegrown terrorism on U.S. soil in a single day. Now, so that tells you that that's going to be separate from, well, obviously 9/11 and December 7th, 1941, which is Pearl Harbor. So, now, if you ask me what is domestic terrorism, I'll tell you. Domestic terrorism is homegrown, mostly U.S. born groups that form themselves of different people, and they believe in radical views. And I mean, you got examples: the Ku Klux Klan, Black Lives Matter is another one. Most anarchist groups in America are homegrown terrorism, although they do have some branch. Antifa does have some branch with international anarchy. However, a lot of times they'll recruit immigrants. Past history, they've done that. So, and I'll show you in the next video when I'm talking about the 4 assassinations of the 4 U.S. presidents. So, but anyway, back to what I was trying to get at. So you got Ku Klux Klan, you got all these other different militia groups that are homegrown, domestic terrorism. And a lot of these guys, they believe in extreme views of survivalism but it's all wrong. And I mean, this is a thing that every nation has, a form of domestic violence, not violence, but domestic terrorism. Now, but you cannot just pinpoint them, because anybody, they can hide behind religion, which a lot of them try to do, or some of them will hide behind quote unquote vowed patriotism, or this, that, the other, quote unquote militia groups. But in reality, they hate the Constitution and they hate what America truly stands for. And I'm going to further explain ways in which we can counter the terror, or counteract the terrorist acts of different individuals, and whom which, when we do encounter people that are radical in their extremism, or and have their terroristic views, on what we can do as citizens to help our law enforcement, our first responders, to prevent another deadly attack. Because domestic terrorism can, and sometimes is, as deadly as international acts or international terrorist groups. But yeah, this is it for today. All right.